I'm not saying that you should always protect your data. I think it's you have to acknowledge that there is, in many cases, there is a good point in being transparent and sharing stuff, even in today's climate, with large commercial companies that profit from your data, because it can give fun stuff back. I mean, the thing is not that everybody should hide everything all the time, but that people should have a possibility of going back and forth between secrecy and transparency, if you want to express it that way. And also, even if you feel that you never want to hide something, maybe you still want to live in a society where some people can have a private sphere. Usually, in these discussions, people only distinguish between the private and the public surveillance. The private is by companies, and the first who comes up are, of course, Google and Facebook and the like. It's advertising companies and so on. And the public, that's, of course, intelligence services, like the NSA or whatever. However, I think that things are today much more complex than that. First of all, because an organization like the NSA gets much of their information from companies like Google and Facebook. So they have also an interest in that these have access to lots of information and processing that, so they can get high quality data about online behavior. Then, when we talk about surveillance by market actor, if you wish, then we also have to distinguish between the white market and the black market. And the black market is huge. There is, it's of course hard to tell what's going on in criminal networks of various kinds, but these are also connected to each other. There have been lots of hacks where, for example, huge databases of personal information have been stolen from internet companies. Also, there are transactions between black market actors and national security services. Organizations like the NSA actually buy hacks from criminal networks in order to keep ahead in the race to be the best surveillance entity. I don't know what will happen in the future, and I don't think that the future is written in stone already. Lots of things can happen, but I would insist on trying to understand this in a context of a financialized economy. That is to say that the boom for big data businesses built on targeted advertisement and large-scale surveillance, including what we call social media. The boom of these kinds of companies with lots of investment money going to Silicon Valley and elsewhere, that's driven by a certain period in history where we have had negative interest rates and lots of access to venture capital, and that will not last forever. But so the economic conditions will change. There will be new kinds of financial downturns, which will create turbulence in the technology sector, and that will be interesting, to say the least. I mean, I can see good things coming out on that, interesting experiments, but I can also see possible scenarios with even more monopolization, centralization, and so on. And as a last point, I think we should not only look to what's happening in Silicon Valley, but also very much to what's happening in China, where we also have a new kind of surveillance capitalism emerging, but one in which the state and the companies are much more tightly together.